Well, actually, the whole, like... Okay, I've fucking tricked her, like, completely.
Left at the light.
She likes my car. Somehow.
Why would she ever like you?
Show me all the places I've never known.
Subaru. Current gen legacy. I don't like the look of it. Like, just, it looks a lot, it looks very big, and I'm not a fan of that. I liked when they were, the blue car there. I liked it better when they were truly just a mid-sized sedan. It's because I have a heavy bias towards compact cars. Because they're a lot more maneuverable. You can get more out of whatever power you have in them. They're much better for tighter roads. Shorter wheelbase makes them turn easy. Typically, not necessarily low quality, but cheaper overall. So easier to access. Sometimes easier to access and repair. I've seen some compact cars that are not. Maybe just heavily biased towards Subarus. See, I don't just have a brand biased out of straight brand loyalty because it has a Subaru badge on it.
He does.
I have a brand. No, I have a purpose for the brand bias.
He frickin' loves Subarus.
Yes, I do, but I have a purpose for the brand bias. They are a quality, well-built car. I will eat the fact that they don't get the greatest fuel economy. That Honda right there is going to get better fuel economy than this car, even if I tried.
Get better than the truck.
That's a weird-looking Honda.
Yeah, I don't like the Cross Tour. But they're easy to fix. Like, you can find shit on them. Like, I went to the Chicago Car Show, looked at the brand new Subaru Forester, and it's like, I can identify what that is. I can sort it all out, and I'm like, all right, here's how I could, like, kind of take that apart.
That's true.
I'd still want to use a guide to do it, but that's just because I like having the fallback on a procedural guide. But yeah, I could fix it myself. A lot of the simple maintenance, they're getting better about that, making like the oil filter super easy to get to. Literally, you pop the hood, oil filter's right there. So you don't even need to be under the car for that. This car, it's older, so it's still like, it's underneath there, but you take the skid plate off, it's just right there. Easy to get at. Nothing's complicated about it. Whereas maintaining other cars, it can be a bitch. Plus, if you have a manual transmission Subaru, it has the all-wheel drive system I really like. A couple of differences between whatever performance grade you have. It may not have limited slips front and back. This car's limited slip in the back, which Joe knows what the limited slip differential is. For you, I think you should.
Enough.
But you know how if you're driving a front-wheel drive car, like if you're driving your car and you're on snow, and you like gun it and one wheel spins a lot and the other wheel does jack shit. A limited slip differential limits the slip. So it forces the wheel that's not doing jack shit to do shit. So then the wheel with traction goes. Depending on the differential style, you have different levels of effectivity to that and different levels of possible stress or wear.
Also a nice advantage of all-wheel drive.
Yes. So a manual transmission Subaru splits the torque 50-50, front and back. Or very, very close to it. A automatic will be 90 front, 10 rear until you need it, apparently. I like very much to be proactive about it. Because the car handles one way, then you lose traction, then the car handles differently, whereas this car handles the same way regardless. Which is quite well. But I know I can hop into my buddy's WRX and I have a certain level of prediction for how this is going to handle, because it's going to be open front, limited slip rear, just like mine, viscous center, just like mine. It's going to steer in a similar manner. The chassis is
should get in the right lane.
Technically different, but like the drivetrain's the same, so that means the chassis is not too different, because you can just take one out and bolt it into the other. That's another thing I like about Subarus is you can swap lots of parts. I could put Forester struts and springs on this and raise the car up if I wanted to. I don't want to because it's a high center of gravity then.
But don't you want to have it on like a foot riser and like?
If I ever buy a Forester, I'll lift that. Oh. This car is
You wouldn't want to drive it like a monster truck, like with the huge
I kind of do
risers in
anyways.
it?
I haven't beached her yet. Although I've gotten close a couple times. There's just a lot of things, like, I'm familiar with the brand. I know they do things the way that I like them. So yes, I have a loyalty to Subarus. I can get into one and have a certain amount of familiarity with it. Now, if it's one of the much newer ones, like, okay, maybe some of the, like, dials and shit are in different places, or it has a touch screen or something like that. But mechanically, I'm in familiar territory. Mm-hmm. And it mechanically behaves a way that I want a car I want to drive to behave. So yes, I have a brand loyalty to Subarus for reasons. Not
like we've
just
gone
fanboyism. But I will admit there is fanboyism there.
You're a fanboy?
Oh yeah.
Did I just get that on camera? Yes.
I've never...
Hey, there's an Earth house.
What? Oh yeah,
Like,
no kidding.
it's
That was
built
like in
into
the
the hill.
side of a. That's
Oh.
called. There's a word for that. I read it in the Laura Ingalls Wilder series because
Earth
they lived in
houses?
one. No.
I mean, that or using geothermal to heat the place, or I mean, not necessarily geothermal, but
what are they
Earth
called?
is insulation. The Shire?
Yeah. I know what that is now because Joe made me watch those.
It's okay. I hadn't seen The Lord of the Rings till I was 20.
I'm going to make her watch
I thought it was
Star
really,
Wars.
really overrated, actually.
I kind of did too. My friend Matt's gonna stab me over that, but
Ouch.
I mean, we didn't watch all in one sitting, but we watched all the extended
Yeah.
version.
Yeah, that's what we did too.
Jesus, that's like 12 fucking hours of my life.
Yeah,
We did not
too
watch the
much.
extended
we
version.
did the
We
4-hour
did not
ones,
watch-
Joe. Those are the extended versions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
first were like 3 hours, and the third one was like 3.5.
They were 4. They were really
Over
long.
exaggerated.
I didn't think they were that great. I don't know.
Okay, it was a very good story. I would rather have spent my time watching the like theatrical cut.
It really could have been like condensed a lot.
Here's the thing. I read the first book and read half the second book and stopped caring. It just didn't grab me.
Yeah.
The movies grabbed me more than the books.
See, that's not good. It's not a good thing.
We're
I think
about
it was
to go through the second DDI in Minnesota.
You
ever.
never. I don't think it's ever a good thing when the movie's better than the book. That means it wasn't a very good book.
Fight Club. The author thought who was consulted for the movie, thought the movie was better than the book.
I've never read Fight Club.
I haven't read it. I'm a young American male. I've watched the movie.
Can you guess what's special about this interchange we're going through?
This one
We
or
were
the next
talking
one?
about books, Joe.
Exactly. Let's get back on a subject. That's
Joe,
cool.
what direction am I going?
You go straight.
This is a weird little.
It's a diverging diamond. We actually get to go through it the whole way.
Um,
I'm in
that
heaven
traffic
right now.
light in this one can operate in a semi-autonomous fashion relative to this one and that
Correct.
one.
So
and its
technically, you
companions
only
over
have
there.
2 conflicting paths.
Although these feed based off of input from like
The
this
others,
route and that
yeah.
route over
Those
there.
lights follow.
All right,
these
see, I understand the logic to it, but upon immediate approach, it was entirely foreign to me, and I'm like, where the fuck am I trying to go?
Exactly.
See, I can pick up on that very quickly. My dad can't, which makes driving through
Well,
California
that's
with him
why
awesome.
the curbs are kind of lined up where you can't go
Although
straight.
I happen to see tire marks on them.
Yeah.
Some
Sure,
people have a
a
hard
few
time
people
figuring out quickly.
get a little far. They
See, I think this works better than a lot of roundabouts. I don't think are placed properly. Like,
interchange roundabouts.
well, yeah, I know they're supposed to be for like dealing with high traffic, but I think it only works well for medium or low traffic to keep everyone just moving. High traffic, I mean, maybe it's just Americans don't know how to fucking deal with them.
That's
Yeah.
very true.
But
I don't know, but they're putting 2 in Forest Lake now, and I think it's not going to work very well.
well, see, the only way to teach Americans how to handle them is to expose them to it. To teach anyone about anything, you need to be exposed to it.
It's true. People are so dumb, though. You watch them like go the wrong way around or like stop in the middle, and it's going to take a while.
Sure.
It is going to take a really long time for people to get used to them.
Dickie's barbecue.
Ooh, I've heard of Dickies.
Never been there. Hey, Devani's. You know, for the longest time, I didn't know Devani's was a chain.
I've only been there like once.
Oh, it's so good.
They always have extras.
Hey,
at the
WRX.
associate meetings.
See, I just noticed. I just like my Subaru sense tingling. Another one there, Forester. Gen 3.
You want to go straight.
I think 3.
You want to go up to Brockton.
Rock.